Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, continuing with our
Wait a minute. What are you both going to do now?
Oh, I don't know. We have no talents and we don't really fit into society.
Maybe we'll be film critics.
top horror movie in each subgenre, we are doing, what is this one? Oh,
Werewolf.
werewolves. Yeah. So obviously, I mean, there's some good werewolf movies.
There's
Some
some decent
older,
ones.
yeah, there's some older ones, some 90s ones that were kind of funny. Um, but this one, American Werewolf in London,
Definitive.
yeah, it's, I mean, come on.
Right.
The, so let's just jump right into it. My biggest gripe with this movie is just the main character is such a bad actor, and the entire dialogue in this movie is unnecessary. I'm starting to like you remember how minimalistic the the conversations were in Nosferatu that we just watched?
Yes.
Like, they acted everything out.
Right.
The story
Show,
was
don't
being
tell.
told. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this movie, like, it showed, and it didn't need to tell because there was no information really within the dialogue. It was just like, I'm turning into a werewolf.
Right.
Oh shit, he's turning into a werewolf. Movie's
Right.
over. So like, I don't know.
The only thing I will disagree with that is that there are some new things they brought to the show.
Mhm.
One, the comedy. Like,
Yeah,
because of
between Jack and the main character,
right,
that's hilarious.
the buddy
Yeah.
comedy, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's because of the director, John Landis, just came off of some pretty successful comedies in the 70s, and and now
Isn't he the one that killed them people?
technically, I mean, the helicopter killed him. Fucking, he didn't, but he's the one that
Fair
said
enough.
stand under
There's
the
a lot of
helicopter.
red tape around that one, though.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, moving on.
But
Just a murderer, but it was good comedy from the murderer.
well, yes, but the underline of this kind of like harkens back to like the old werewolf stories, of like the Universal, and then they throw added twist. Like, in my world, what's so wrong about being a werewolf? It's just like,
Yeah, if you could hone the werewolf power into being like Dexter and going and only killing like pedophiles every full moon or something like that, then fuck yeah. But if you're just killing random ass people, like that, I felt for that guy in the movie theater where he was like, you left my wife a widow and my daughter fatherless.
yeah,
Like, over, like,
sorry.
yeah. What do you
But
want me to say?
that's the new thing that they brought to this, is that a werewolf is constantly being haunted by the people that he does kill. You know,
that is very unique. I've never seen that.
That was just interesting take. That he's just constantly being,
and it was just a
nightmares
flex on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was just a flex on practical effects.
Oh, this whole movie is fucking.
Well, yeah, but I mean that specifically, like, obviously the werewolf is amazing, but like every bit of practical effects was just like, hold my beer, watch this.
Yeah,
and
this
like,
won an Oscar.
Yeah, exactly.
It won an Oscar. But like, all right, we're like a showdown of special effects. Who do you give it to? Do you give it to The Thing, or do you give it to this for practical special effects?
I think The Thing, only because there were so many different types of special effects. But see, that's the problem, because in quality of the special or the practical effects, it was this movie. Like, that werewolf, that transformation scene,
Mm-hmm.
the progressively decaying friend.
The friend
Like
is,
it's just
especially in the hospital when he
yeah,
first appears,
yeah.
that whole look. And I hate when he gets really dark. Like, I understand he's decaying, but
Well, the
man,
only
I loved
time
him when he just
he's
had that thing.
only time when he's super dark is in the theater, but you can tell he's green,
Right.
but it's just dark in the theater
Right. Well, when
because the pornos
he's
happen.
at the um he's at the house and he starts, it's like when he's first like getting
Yeah.
decay.
Where he's like,
But
you gotta understand, and and Homeboy's like, oh, I know, I get it. You're the undead, and I'm a werewolf. And he's like,
yeah.
oh, good, you do get it. All right, and he like adjusts in his seat, and he puts
Oh,
the Mickey Mouse down.
all right. All right. So yeah, the special effects, we don't need to go into fucking, they're great. The only thing that I will disagree is
Okay,
I like my werewolves standing up on two legs, being like a monster instead of like a wolf. And in some of the scenes when
all right.
he's in
What
wolf
werewolf
form,
movie? Oh, so you want the universal? Like it's a guy that has a lot
no,
of hair on his face,
no,
because no other movie has that. Like
howling.
American Werewolf in London and Paris, it doesn't stand up.
Okay, we're not going to talk about Paris
Ginger,
because that's a
right,
fucking
right.
atrocious movie.
Yeah, I understand. And then Ginger Snaps, it's on all fours the whole time. In both of them. Like every werewolf movie I can think, there's very few that I can think of where they're standing up. And
Right. Well,
probably
the newest Wolfman that they did, the Howling, all of those wolves walk on 2 feet, not where it looks like a guy in like shredded clothes and he's like rah and he's got like a mask on, but where he actually like he's big and like he's a werewolf. I like the werewolves like that, but not the point. The point is that because they went that route in certain scenes in this movie, you can see the werewolf kind of like running and it kind of like the back is kind of just like this big
yeah,
mass. So this guy can sit there and like,
yeah.
kind of move this shit,
Yeah, but that, I mean, that you're right,
small.
it does, it's a very small hindrance,
Right.
but
Right.
and there's some scenes like in the subway where he like pokes his head out from
Right.
behind like the turnstile or whatever, and you can tell that they're hiding the lower half of the body
Right.
because it's not there. But most of the time, and the tunnel scene was the biggest one for me because the dude, like, so the werewolf is chasing him and the guy's running from the
Yeah.
werewolf, and in one scene, like from the POV of the werewolf, it looks like he's maybe 6 feet away,
Right.
and then you cut back from the camera watching the guy run, and the dude runs probably like 50 feet, and then there's still no werewolf, and then
Yeah.
they cut the scene and the werewolf's still right behind him again, and I think that's when he actually gets him. And
The
I'm like,
werewolf had binoculars on, so it just looked, he was
yeah,
looking
yeah,
and
yeah.
he was way closer than what he thought.
And I know it's just a simple fact of like, we can't make this shot work
Right.
with him in the background running, so let's just not.
Right. Right. But the transformation is the bread and butter of this movie.
Yeah,
That's what you go and you say, keep watching, and then they'll go, okay, I'm at the transformation was amazing looking. They did it in the Howling has a similar transformation look,
yeah,
but this one just doesn't stop, and you're on it
yeah.
the whole way, and it's
Hmm.
lit like a fucking TV show,
Hmm.
so you can see every little detail.
Yeah,
And
bro, that type of artistic work, you want to show it off, man.
yeah, well, no, I think that was the director's idea. The fucking effects guys were like, you
Ah,
fucking gotta be
shit.
kidding me, we can't hide nothing. The
I
dream sequence, like, some of them effective. I mean, literally one of them is like Michael Jackson's like, yeah, I just want to do that whole thing with the eyes and for Thriller,
yeah,
you know. Um, but the one like the Nazi werewolves that
Yeah,
bust
dude,
through the
that shit was
house.
hilarious, man.
And it's just like right out of left field, and my brain's just like, what? You know?
I just like, okay, so one of the things that got me with this movie, I want, all right, remind me, I want to jump back to the werewolf transition because I
Okay.
didn't, but one of the things that got me in this movie was the soundtrack. Like
Hmm.
during Homeboy and Nurse's sex scene, it's just playing this like happy-go-lucky, like, it's not like sexy music and it doesn't fit the like, it's like polka, like
Hmm.
it, not that genre, but like it just fit like so not, or it didn't fit. Um,
Yes.
and then a couple of other times, but in that scene, I wish they just played like the most aggressive, loud punk music through that scene because that scene is fucking anarchy. Like that shit is insane. Like from start to finish, that might be the best scene of any movie ever
Yeah.
because it just happens and there's no rhyme or reason to it. They even kill him.
Yeah.
Like it's so random and it comes out of nowhere and it's for zero reason whatsoever.
Yes.
So
Well,
like
it's showing the nightmare aspect
yeah,
of his brain that he's just plagued with these nightmares. But like when they're going through, like you go through the nightmare check, and it's like, oh, the woods
yeah,
and the nurse, and he's laying in a bed, and then he opens up his eyes, and he's got werewolf things. Okay, that
yeah,
makes sense. And then
right.
John Landis is like, now let's get to the werewolf Nazis, and then everybody kind of like stopped and was just like, what?
Huh?
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
got an idea for a helicopter. No.
yeah, no. um but yeah, there's just like these small like moments, and that is not a small moment. Your
No,
dream
no.
sequences should be, your main
Yeah,
focus should be the goddamn werewolf,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden right in the middle of the movie it's like this comedy skit fucking that's horribly violent.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the level of Tropic Thunder, like violence to comedy. Like
Right.
it's hilarious, but it's just as brutal for some reason.
Right.
Like they're just like jumping around the house, shooting the fucking like cabinets, like slitting or throats and like
Yeah.
setting fires, and you're like,
What?
what, dude? Like what?
Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say it's just like out of
I
left field,
I
and
swear
it's
that's the
perfect.
best 2 minutes that have ever been
Right.
put on film. I'm gonna actually cut that scene out of the movie and I'm gonna keep putting music over it until I find the right music,
Right.
like
Dude.
smooth
Yeah.
jazz or something.
Yeah. Just like, yeah, fucking. So back to the transformation. You wanted to talk more about the
Yeah, the
transformation.
transformation. Well, I just think that like this movie and most movies like werewolf transitions are pretty quick.
Hmm.
They only show you the things that they have set for you to see.
Right.
And I know this movie does that too, but like the array that this movie does. Because
Right.
normally you see like hands, a little bit of forearm hair just appear with bad CGI. And
Eyes,
then like
teeth.
yeah, eyes, teeth, and but like this goes through the hair coming on the back, the
Right.
hands extending, like in it's a long scene, and like you
Yes.
said, it's lit so well there is no hiding anything.
There's no hiding that shit.
That
Yeah.
that shit was just fucking impressive,
Hmm.
especially for the time. So yeah, that's all
And
I'm
then
gonna say.
I think because it came out so early in the 80s, everybody in the 80s was trying to do their transformation scenes. It was just like, okay,
Yeah.
what's next?
What's
Someone.
transferring in this movie?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like the movie Cat People, I think,
Mm,
and they have the same thing where they transform, but they're turning into like panthers,
yeah.
But that's the one big memorable thing, and from this is, like I said, the transformation scene. Um, let's talk a little bit about werewolves. Like,
Okay.
is it always me, or why are werewolves like the hungriest motherfuckers in the world? Like they
Because they
turn in,
don't have anything else to do.
yeah, I know, but like, okay, like we go to like the werewolf lady, and the werewolf lady is like, in the full moon you shall turn into a werewolf, and be
Yeah.
like, what if I eat like a big ass sandwich before I turn into a werewolf? Will I
Well,
go
that's what happened in the movie. He kept going, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry
right,
because he couldn't eat because he needs that carnal instinct when he's the werewolf.
right?
So I
But
don't
it's
know
always
that
like
they'll.
every goddamn werewolf. They turn into a werewolf, and then they have to go and feed.
Well,
You
if
know,
you think about it, like if you get powers of invisibility, you go rob a bank. If you can fly, you fly anywhere. You know what I mean? Like you turn into a werewolf, you're fucking a dog for a night. Like,
if I get the power of invisibility, I'm haunting the mall.
well,
Okay,
that's fine.
that's
That's what
it's
you
just
do
what I'm
during the
gonna do.
day, but I'm saying like you go and get some loot too.
Yeah,
Like you can walk in and out of a bank. Like, nah, sorry.
I don't think so. I mean, because like the money's not gonna turn invisible too. So on the camera, there's gonna be like, yeah, $400,000 just floated out
Nah,
of the
but
bank.
like, all right, but think about this though. If you have something on, like your shirt and stuff, you that turns invisible. So if you're wearing a backpack and you fill a backpack with money, in theory, you're putting the money into invisibility because the
Mm,
backpack would be invisible. You're just putting it inside there and now it's invisible. So you could load up a duffel bag or something. Just don't bump into anybody.
right.
Or if you do go, "Boo,"
Mm,
you
get
know.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
see, that's what I'd be doing. Like I would just be causing like collateral, and just
Yeah.
like be watching like videos like
Yeah.
where I know there's like a lot of people,
Yeah.
and like like dinner rush in a busy ass restaurant, and be like, fucking like just set like a fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Just
just
go
go.
by tables and whisper in people's ears.
Hmm.
I can't believe that guy's fucking wearing that. Like,
Yeah.
just start trouble. Like, oh my
Do
God,
you
I can't
see
believe.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah.
Hear what? I swear, someone just whispered in my ear. Do you see that?
Yeah.
They're just like the craziest things and stuff. Be like, do you ever see the American Werewolf in London, or whatever this fucking movie's called? All right, we got to get off of magical powers and back to
Yeah. It
the
would,
I mean, but like, yeah, just werewolf lore in general. We've
yeah.
done vampires. Vampires are the easiest goddamn,
Yeah. Yeah.
but werewolves
Because
are weird.
because vampires we've always just accepted exist.
Right.
And like they're just like this movie's about this vampire and you're like, all right.
Yeah, we know the bylaws
Like,
of
yeah,
vampires,
yeah, but like there's no origin story typically on that particular vampire. Most vampire movies,
Yeah, but
like
werewolves
Queen
are
of the
just kind
Damned
of like,
did interview, but um but werewolves, like they have to give a backstory. Like that's what the whole idea of the pub was about.
right.
Was like, there's werewolves in the area. We're kind of like the protectors or
Hmm.
whatever. So I think that that's funny that like the folklore that they choose to use, like theirs felt real to me
Yes. Yeah, that's
versus where like some people are just like, yeah, now he was out in the woods, he got fucked by a dog and now he's a werewolf sometimes.
yeah.
Like what?
Well, that's another thing that I like England, the way it looks.
Mhm.
Like I know they were shooting in Wales for the moors and the
Yeah, yeah,
mountains and the rain and shit and just shitty weather. It's probably July there, and it was just shitty weather, and
yeah,
it's like amazing. And
yeah, yeah.
like it was like, I like it. They go to a town, and it's like there's 4 buildings. It's not a town. It's just
Right,
like a trailer park,
right.
but everything looked cozy inside. It's like, why the fuck did they leave? Fuck that. And be like, I ain't getting the fuck up out of here. I know some wizard's gonna walk in here and give me an adventure here in a minute.
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna go out and get the fucking werewolf, after everybody told us stay on the goddamn road. And
Yeah.
we're like, I'm just not feeling that stay on the goddamn road thing.
It was
So,
funny because the way they did that, they acted like they didn't know they weren't on the road anymore.
Yeah.
They're just walking and they were like, what'd they say? Stay in the light and stay on the road. And they look down, they go, uh-oh.
we're
What?
not on the road anymore. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the acting is just like the dialogue. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't need it, man.
Yeah.
I'll watch this shit in silence. That would be
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Yeah. I mean, and that's the spoil from, I think, Nosferatu, is that we
Yeah.
watched like this film that was more like an art piece that really took its time and could have, you want that for other movies
Yeah.
of just like slow down, it really soak up the scene, let
Yeah.
the scene happen,
Right.
and then
And
react to it.
then the werewolf Nazis
Right,
and the
right.
fire in the
That just
machine
needs to
guns.
be like in every movie, I think, from now
Dude,
on.
yeah, yeah. It would be lovely because it would fit in
Yeah.
any movie just as well as it did this one.
Right.
Like it's there now. You're
Like,
seeing this for a few minutes. Like,
especially if I'm getting bored. I
Yeah.
wish like I had a magical power that I'm watching a movie and then all of a sudden I could just click my fingers and those werewolf zombies just bust into any scene in any movie.
oh, that's
Just
cool.
shoot the
That
fuck
would be
up out of
cool.
the place and
Just
burn it down.
change the dynamic of the movie completely
Right,
with
right.
werewolf zombies.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think you're on to something. We should start working on that technology.
Yeah, the
dude.
Notebook.
Stop the cancer research. We got something else to
Yeah,
focus
I
on.
need magical powers where I can insert fucking like crazy ass shit in a movie at any given will, fucking, Shrek 3.
Dude, you know what sucks is like I finally finished this movie and it's so good. The practical effects, it's just so much fun to watch. And then because it was on Tubi, it started a next movie.
Yeah.
And now I'm like 10 minutes into that movie, or like, I don't know, 20 minutes in the movie. I don't know what the name of it is. And it's another werewolf movie, I'm pretty sure. But this dude is like, these three friends go up to the Eiffel Tower and this girl they're up there after it closed or whatever. And the one dude's tying off to do jump rope or bungee jumping.
It's American Werewolf in
And
Paris.
is it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Then I don't remember that movie at all.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm gonna
And
finish
the girl's getting ready to jump off of the tower.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And he
gonna finish
jumps
it because I don't
off
remember
the
it.
tower with her
Yeah,
to
yeah.
save her, and it's
And then
like,
his two friends just held his body weight on that. No, that's not. No,
yes, that
it
movie
would be
is fucking
flung off
atrocious.
so hard.
I saw
Yeah,
that in the theater.
it looks like trash. It looks like 90s trashy. So like I'm kind of like, all right, I'm gonna take this trip to like
In that,
nostalgia town.
the werewolves discover a serum, an injectable serum, so they don't need the full moon. They could just turn into a werewolf whenever they want.
Oh, weird, because Ginger Snaps is the opposite.
No.
They build the local drug dealer, and Ginger's sister built a serum to like stop the transformation or slow it down or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's like the exact opposite movie.
Right, right. And now, like, cat. Now this movie
Yes.
and other werewolf movies,
Uh,
other than the friends haunting them, is there any other thing that they just do good and right by werewolf standards? I mean, there's not a lot to fucking go on with werewolf movies. We know that, but there's 100
no.
vampire movies,
Right. No, there's nothing that like super stands out except for the aggressiveness of the werewolf.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't kill once or twice. Like most werewolf style movies, you get like 3 or 4 implied off-screen kills or whatever, and this
Right.
one had a few, but it shows at least the werewolf attacking,
Yeah.
and for that moment, and then it shows you the gore of it. So that I was like, oh, okay, there's just a lot of it in this one, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But outside that, no, not really. Why, you got
Yeah.
something in mind?
No, I don't. I just
All right.
yeah. No,
Well,
I was
that's
just setting you up.
yeah.
No, I mean, it's just that it just kind of focus on me that like we have all of these vampires because vampires and werewolves those are the two
Right.
main horror things. But yet we have more vampires. I guess vampires are just interesting than
Well,
werewolves.
they have powers. They have like they can hypnotize, they can turn into bats. Like there's more to do with vampires than werewolves. Because like I said, when you turn into a werewolf, you're just a fucking dog for a day.
Right.
Like there's no goal in it. Like vampires are trying to keep like the vampire thing going, like that whole club that they're in. And then werewolves are just running around for a night. And then it's
Yeah.
only one night. Like this movie fucking has two full moons in a row.
Right.
Like
Yeah, it's a blue moon.
yeah,
So
yeah. Uh, so yeah, like it's a one night thing. Like how do you do that for any length of time?
right.
Unless you set it up so that the premise of the movie is knowing that that full moon is coming in like a week or whatever, so you're trying to figure out what to do leading up to it, which
Right.
this movie does, but very briefly. It's not the whole thing.
Right. Right.
It's just Nazi werewolves is the
Yeah.
whole thing. So
Yeah. That was the best.
mhm.
But no, like in the Monster Squad movie, they explain why it has to be like a silver bullet, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and that even if you were to just like blow me up with dynamite as a werewolf,
Uh-huh.
even if I wasn't a werewolf, I couldn't die. Like it wouldn't let me die. I have to be killed with a silver bullet only.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like the killing of them, it's kind of it, it seems like it should be easier. You know what I mean? Like it seems like because when you look at the underworld movies, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
When they're fighting werewolves, like they're just they use silver bullets, but it's more like bang bang dead. Like this is just a giant wolf. Like a couple
Yeah.
shotgun blasts at close range will stop it.
Right.
And when you sit there and go, no, it has to be silver and it has to be like 30 past noon and I have to have had three margaritas. And
Right.
it's like, whoa, come on, man. Like
And
vampires is
fucking
just holy shit.
Jimmy Buffett like
Yeah.
going after him and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
Just piss drunk Jimmy
yeah.
Buffett the whole time.
Yeah. That would be a great movie right there. Fucking Jimmy Buffett, vampire hunter or werewolf hunter.
Yeah.
Fucking just, just
Just
like,
strolling the streets playing 5 o'clock somewhere.
yeah.
And people are like, is that fucking Jimmy Buffett
Is
right
this
now?
Jimmy Buffett out there? Fucking looks like Jimmy Buffett is fucking killing vampires and shit.
Yeah.
Some people say. And now he's going into a fucking cheeseburger in paradise. Holy shit, those things are still open. Fucking
Nope.
no, they are.
Well, maybe in Florida where
No,
it's
it's
5 o'clock somewhere.
I think there's like 35 still that
Oh,
exist in
oh.
the United States and Canada or some
I
shit.
just want to know who goes into places like that and goes, damn, this is a good burger.
Apparently, some of them are really good. Some of them are fucking mediocre bullshit, but
Yeah.
some of them actually care.
I
And
feel like ours was mediocre bullshit. And
ours was
that's why
fucking
it's not
mediocre
there.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you call it? But it does make a whole new meaning to that song. Wasted away again in Margaritaville.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like some guy just fucking just trashed at one of those fucking shitty ass restaurants.
Dude, if you went into that restaurant and hit the jukebox with that song like 20 times. Just
You don't
sit
even need to
there
hit it. It's
and
already
like,
playing and shit.
yeah,
Fucking,
yeah. That's how they get you to leave.
that's why
Like,
they couldn't keep that establishment opened. Everybody here and Fred fucking was just like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't take the music here. The fucking microwave food. Fuck this shit. But anything else about this movie? I think we hit all the numbers.
yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Starting out, what's the thriller kill?
So it's definitely a thrill. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's brutal enough for the time,
Right.
and it's awesome.
Good.
What about you? You throwing it or killing
I'm gonna thrill.
it?
My brain couldn't think there for
Yeah.
a second. I was
Yeah.
like, kill. Kill is cool, but
Yeah.
nah, it's a thrilling. It's a good movie. It's a
Yeah. It
decent
is.
movie.
Yeah.
So, is it a cult classic?
Yeah. Obviously, I think
Yeah,
so.
I'll say so. There's a real like popular group that
Yeah.
like it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you go see it in the theater?
Um. Yeah. Probably would.
I wouldn't mind seeing that effect, real big,
Yeah. Yeah.
like real fucking nice,
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say yes. So all right, Jacob, what are you gonna start?
All right. So as far as werewolf movies go, the Nazi werewolves are a 5-star.
Okay.
The movie as a whole, I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 4 stars too.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fun around Halloween time, or if you want to watch a good scary movie, there's better scary movies out there.
Yeah.
I would say that this is probably one of like 3 werewolf. I mean, werewolves are just kind of like we've said, a blank zone of like solid movies. This is a solid effects movie more than it is a solid werewolf movie.
Oh yeah. It's funny that we're doing this now because not too long ago I was thinking to myself, like, I don't watch a lot of werewolf movies. I need to watch
Right.
more werewolf movies. Like Ginger Snaps one was okay. It was
Cool.
pretty cool. And then I was like, so let me just find some. So I started like looking on Tubi for like werewolf movies, and I was like,
Oh, there's plenty of shit out there. I'm talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
quality though.
Yeah. I know. And I watched a few shitty ones, and I was like,
Right.
wow, this
Right.
is terrible. But